My name is Andy Morrell. I'm the head of the Cobra Martial Arts Association. We're a self-sufficient national supporting body for all martial arts throughout the United Kingdom and Southern Ireland. MASSA stands for the Martial Arts Standards Agency, and it basically does exactly what it says on the tin. They set a group of standards that all martial arts in the country can choose to follow. MASSA is run by martial artists, senior martial artists with more years in the martial arts than they'd care to admit. The main point there is, again, they understand the pitfalls, they understand the hazards and risks involved in martial arts, especially teaching martial arts, so they have the knowledge to look at this coaching programme and say that is an excellent coaching programme. One of the guys on the MASSA panel, the standards director Martin Gatter, is an NVQ in City and Guilds verifier and assessor. He has actually looked through the programme and red stamped it for us. He was one of the main guys that did it. And for someone with Martin's background and qualifications, added to the other gentlemen within the MASSA background and the MASSA board, that's good enough for me. These guys have got far more experience in the game than I have. I've been in martial arts over 20 years. They could treble, probably quadruple that. The point why a person would want to bother or choose to bother with MASSA comes from a simple question that I've been asked quite a few times, and quite a few of our instructors throughout the group asks: who accredits you? Who accredits your qualifications? Can you assure that your background in martial arts is correct? Can you ensure that your criminal record is sufficient enough to be dealing with children, as in you haven't got one? Have you got a first aid background? MASSA acts as an accreditation bureau for that, just to basically back up and ensure that instructors do actually follow the standards they say they've got. The general misconception amongst the martial arts is a black belt in any grade constitutes a qualification to teach. And while some black belts do have excellent teaching skills, they do actually lack areas of knowledge to enable them to deliver safe and efficient child-friendly clubs, not just for children, but for everyone in general. And MASSA's standards ensure that instructors have been through a set coaching programme that includes health and safety, child protection, risk assessment, accident reporting, incident management, club management. The CMAA, Cobra Martial Arts Association, are self-sufficient. We're registered with the Criminal Records Bureau, have been since 2002. We're a registered franchise with the St John Ambulance Brigade, enabling us to deliver first aid courses fully accredited by the St John Ambulance Brigade. We also have our own in-house coaching programme that was developed between the years 2002 and 2004. However, it is an internal qualification. We decided, at the back end of 2004, it was time to find someone, an external accreditor, to look at this and basically red stamp it for us to say this is a good coaching programme. However, when we looked around at the usual national accreditation bureaus, all they seemed to be interested in was thousands of pounds, money here, money there, how many people are you putting through a year, this much money for this person, etc., etc. Which basically put us off, because it's not about money, it's about education. Then we found MASSA. Having read through the MASSA website, the standards that they are setting, we're actually following them in full. So we made the phone call to the chairman, basically explained why we wanted to join. We already have all these standards in place, however we would like them to look at our coaching programme, which they did. And at this point I should mention, no money had changed hands up until that point. All the advice at the start was given free of charge. Absolutely free, which did actually shock me, having spoken to the other agencies who wanted thousands of pounds up front. MASSA looked at the coaching programme and basically red stamped it, so we joined. Once a club, a group or association has read through the MASSA website and then chooses to join, the process is very simple. There is a document that can be downloaded off the site, which I have a copy here. It's 2 pages. The front page is a question and answer, tick box yes or no. For example, do you use a code of ethics? Do you have a statement of equality? Do you have a child protection policy? Tick box yes or no. Fill the back sheet in with the association club details, send it into the office along with the fee. You will then be contacted back. Probationary membership will be issued. Once MASSA have then been through all the areas that you're unsure of, you'll get the full membership. For example, if you've ticked no to do you use criminal record bureau checks, the advice will be given on how to do them. You can do the CRB checks through MASSA Direct, or they'll put you in touch with another group that can do. Since joining MASSA, we've found a massive benefit because prior to that we had several problems, I would say, over the past few years because we didn't belong to this or that nationally recognised governing body to such an extent that some of the councils around the country refused access to sports complexes because we didn't belong to the aforementioned national governing bodies. However, since we've joined MASSA and MASSA are helping to ensure that we're following the standards that we say we are, all that has stopped. My own local council, for example, last year issued a statement, which I received a copy of, that unless a club or group belonged to a certain unnamed national governing body, we weren't allowed to teach in the schools. I contacted the LEA, which is the Local Education Authority, introduced them to the CMAA, went in, took our documents in, gave them MASSA's contact details as verification that we do actually meet these standards, because part of MASSA's membership, once you're in, you have to prove each year that you are still matching the standards, and those who fail will be held accountable by MASSA. As I said, to repeat myself earlier, all the problems have stopped now. MASSA has helped us in that way. We don't get any problems now hiring any facilities. As an association, having the MASSA logo on our website and obviously being involved with them myself now, it has attracted members to our clubs. For example, a parent looking at 2 martial arts clubs, one's in MASSA membership, one's not. I'm not saying that not being a member of MASSA is anything bad. However, from an external point of view, as a parent looking in, one with the MASSA logo on Martial Arts Standards Agency and one without, to the layman, where are you going to go? If there's any worries, any concerns, they can contact MASSA. Obviously, MASSA members are allowed to display the MASSA logo on all literature, websites, etc. If there's any concerns from any member of the public, parents or otherwise, all that person has to do is contact MASSA Direct with the name of the group and just talk to them, and they'll verify the membership is still in place. Or in fact, tell them what association that person belongs to as well. There are a lot of independent instructors around the country. A lot of them are highly professional, highly skilled and very good at what they do. Unfortunately, there are the odd bad apple amongst them that give us all as martial artists a bad name. Since we've joined MASSA and having MASSA accredit the standards we've got and introducing ourselves to our local council, they're now well aware of us and have fully accepted us to such an extent that we are now the first point of call for any inquiries into martial arts instructors within our area. But just last year, local social services contacted me with inquiries about an instructor that they'd received allegations from students and parents in relation to his teachings. Unfortunately, I couldn't give much information other than to advise them to try and trace the association that he was registered with, because most martial arts instructors are registered at some point with somebody. That was the end of the conversation. A couple of months later, I hear the guy's been arrested and locked up for reasons we can only work out for ourselves. Anyone considering joining MASSA, there's 5 basic areas to consider, which most of us have anyway. 1, are you a black belt? Can you prove it, and is it traceable? 2, do you have sufficient insurance in place for your students and for yourself as an instructor? 3, do you hold a Criminal Records Bureau enhanced disclosure? MASSA recommend rechecks every 2 years. 4, do you hold a current first aid certificate from a health and safety approved training provider? And finally, 5, do you hold a coaching qualification? And in relation to the last 3, the CRB, the first aid and the coaching, if you don't, that's not a problem, because MASSA will help you. MASSA is not a governing body, and they don't want to be. They're not trying to be. They're a national standards supporting agency. And should an instructor choose to join them, the benefits are there for the instructor personally and for us as martial arts in general to show that standards are there and that we are running safe, sufficient and child-friendly clubs for the benefits of everybody.